here in a second. Oh, still has me as private, that's why. Let me fix that. Took your advice earlier. Let's see, let's do public. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, is everybody able to hear Chase? Seems awfully quiet.
Oh,
Oh, there. Okay, now
probably.
I can hear him.
All right. I didn't know I was live. I was fussing with my hair. I already look like a scumbag today anyway. I'm
Ah,
kind of
that's most
exhausted from
days.
my camping trip.
Nibs has you beat, though, in that department.
All right. Oh, so are you still setting up
We're good.
or?
We're on the air. I sent you over the link. I'm just going to throw this on Reddit real quick for the 10 people who actually go to that Reddit. And we are good. What an interesting turn of events. Who could have saw that Nibs was going to make his own guild?
Well, I couldn't really see him like actually following orders. Not that there's a whole lot of, not that you have to order around your guildmates much, but yeah, um, it's a curse being as smart as he is. Can the stream let us know? Is there any reverb on my end, or I'm getting an echo of myself, but I think that's just having my speaker on. I
Let's
really got to
see
change.
here.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my own technical problem. As long as it's not coming through on stream.
Jen says you
Cool.
sound fine. AA says you sound good as well.
Okie doke.
Okay, that's up on Reddit, and we are good. So yeah, I mean, I've been goading him into wanting to start his own guild for a while, and he finally went with it because he just, I don't know, he just doesn't play nice with others. I know Nibs, he just, when he gets set in his ways with something, it's like he's not gonna let go. He's gonna latch on. He's like a fucking pit bull, and he's not gonna
Yeah.
let go.
It's called severe OCD.
And maybe there is some truth to it. I mean, Arena Watch has some leadership issues. They've had them since day one. But when you have 3 people managing 17 people, shit's gonna happen.
Hmm. Oh yeah, so I'm interested in like what Trop is asking. Did he get the guild that had a silver two on it?
I mean, I could give him the silver two. I haven't given him either one yet. I mean, it's
Well,
whichever
I,
one. I
I
mean,
I shouldn't sound so instigating, but I think it would literally drive him crazy if his guild had a silver two placing on it. I
I,
think I think he would ditch it.
I mean, Pac has control of the silver two guild. That's the higher level. If Pac wants to give him that one, we can give him that guild. I'm cool with it. It makes no difference to me. These guilds are like fucking shoes or a raincoat. I just get rid of them as I go.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I legitimately start a new guild, and we get Chinese Smurfs on the in like round 2 or 3.
Those guys were no joke. I mean, we still stomped them, but I had to like sit there and coach some matches and take things tactfully on them. They had a guy with like 280k CP who had a full-fledged battalion for GVG.
Mm. Yeah, and it wasn't like the worst uh, whale guild, but like yeah, like me and my CG13 crew, 10 or 11 out of 12 of us participating and a lot of new players. Not a not a fucking chance.
They did some things different, like they put sleep on Damesfly for some reason instead of the breath, which I thought was weird. That was an
Mm.
interesting change. And I mean, they knew about the buff trick. Most of their Zaros had buff on them. So, I mean, these guys, they've either played the other version of this game or they watched my video for whatever fucking reason. They're like, yeah, let's do this. This is a great idea.
Say buff on sorrow.
Yeah, because then Zoro just kind of walks back instead of going down, and you don't bait him in.
Oh, see, I get confused about it because I thought, is that only if there's nothing in range for him or something?
Generally, if there's nothing in range, which most people don't want to put something in range turn one unless he can
Yeah.
hit with Grease Lightning, but then he's still pretty far away.
Mm. Oh, okay. Because that's I know. I think my GVG team swept this time. Maybe one loss. Um, Granted, I'm in a I was in a lower tier for most of it, but yeah, I put my sorrow further back. I spread my team out quite a bit, and it seemed to work well.
And I didn't even bother using him. I went with Baramos, Malroth, Red Hood, Damesfly, and Baril. I went for like 2 strikers and 3 status ailments, and that messed up that Chinese team. My sub guild was able to get 150 on my defense, but the Chinese team, they took the L.
Uh, oh, let me see. Um, so I'm probably gonna be a little extra scatterbrained tonight, so you'll have to lead me. But the topic tonight's live arena, and I know I brought up to you next week because, of course, doom and gloom troll that I am. I think there's a strong possibility they don't even bring it to global. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I want to say they're going to bring it, but
I think they will.
if there's something tying it back, kind of like how they didn't bring chat over for some bullshit reason, I mean, there's
Hmm.
a possibility they might leave it off the table for a while until they change it in some way or nerf the
I don't know
rewards.
how. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to bring it over. Is it worth it for live PvP? I mean, regular arena is getting 7, 8,000 people even touching it in a week. Um, I don't know. So say 5, 6,000 real arena players, and that's being generous.
I mean, there
Um,
could be
is
more.
that worth
It's
it?
it's one of those things where the arena, most people don't need to do it anymore. I mean, who's gonna want to awaken plus a halberd source or some of these other units? There's not really much there.
Oh,
So I mean,
no, I'll be saving everything for when they actually put useful stuff in again.
and they haven't done any new arena units. Maybe when they do another story update and JP will get a new arena unit
Yeah.
or something. But it's just like, eh.
Now, I know, like myself personally in arena, if I'm in the mood for it, like I will try for the first couple days. But as soon as you lose a unit, it's like, all right, this week's done. Just
Oh, you're
do
fucked.
what I can, take it easy, auto some 40s. Who cares? What am I gonna fight for 200 coins that
No,
we
it's a waste of
can't
time.
use?
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, there are like the S rank alchemy items in there are kind of helpful, but at what they cost. It's like, no, I'm not gonna fight all week to try to get like one uh, S rank alchemy stone.
It's a gamble for then another gamble because you know as well as anybody you could spend 100 rolls on a piece of gear and still not get close to anything remotely useful.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I did think about the S rank alchemy stones in there is I don't know if it's going to be possible about it. Somebody in here last week said that sweet HP sword I mentioned, like the one that is obviously for HP and
Hmm.
has an occasional chance to heal on attack. Um, that's a live PvP weapon, so I would like to be able to get rolls on that, but
Ooh.
I have no idea how that's actually acquired. So I'm gonna assume that you're gonna need some S rank sword alchemy items, so I would suggest holding on to those. But then again, I'm wrong all the time, so. Asa says it comes with 99 rolls. Well, that's nice. Thanks for the heads up there.
Okay, so I mean you've got 99 chances to be disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, Aces is one of the starting crew for Game Bangers, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a game banger. I mean they take a lot of money from him, but you know.
Well,
So
I'll
Aces,
tell
what
you, man.
made you want to
I was gonna
just
say
do
I
that?
can
Yeah.
barely fill up CG 13. Granted, we're looking for mostly newer players, but God, I don't know how you're gonna find 10 to 17 whales right now that want to switch guilds. That's a lofty goal.
That's why I was like, here, take this guild. Good luck. Because at least, could you imagine? I mean, Dapper Pickle tried to, like, without any help from the community or anything, start a guild fresh, and it was like pulling
Oh,
teeth
we
for him.
faced him.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
kicked his ass. I saw that.
yeah. Um, okay, yeah. I don't. I know Dapper used to jump into my streams all the time. It's been a while. I remember people. I remember conversations. I don't remember them together.
He's around. He's still hanging on. I think he's here because of that guild he has, but I think community keeps people here more than anything because, well, you can go play anything these days.
Yeah, but it's. I've come across, and I'm not trying to mock. Well, anything other than Nibs. I'll make fun of Nibs just because he's. Anyway, but yeah, I've seen a couple of times just in the GVG. I mean, we've all been doing them, but yeah, there'll be like a whale that like makes their own guild. So it's like a whale, like an obvious whale, and then a bunch of you know newer players, scrubs. When I say scrubs, I'm just teasing. They're new players, but yeah, a bunch of scrubs with a whale. Which doesn't really work in this game. Um,
No, because I mean, you can't win a GVG with one really good player. It just doesn't work that way. If people don't show up, if people don't perform, a bunch of mediocre players could easily just win. Like if you bring three whales in and you have 17 people who don't know how to fight, well, that's 17 easy 160s.
that is exactly what CG 13 did. I mean, I got a couple of guys from my Chasers guild to prop it up
Hmm.
because I didn't want to start a new guild and not have these guys doing GVG. I mean, it's so fun, and I mean, who wants to join a guild that can't even get into GVG? I didn't want to screw over these applicants because they weren't all total newbies. Um, but yeah, really, like, we didn't. I forget if one or two of them are whales. I mentioned this last week. Some of these new players, they went all in on Sorrow and FAC and stuff. So these noobs have some nice arena teams already. But just coordination is where it's at in GVG. That's what I'm trying to get at. Long-winded as usual. Um, just there's really nothing too special about at least the accounts. We've got some pretty good players, but we're not AW guys that like scrutinize over arena and PvP and stuff like that. We're just coordinated, just trying to do our best for other players. Like that's what pisses me off most in Chasers or CG 13 is getting, it's a casual guild, so I'm giving more whatever. But yeah, screwing over your teammates, like not bringing a good defense team or whatever like that, that pisses me
Or
off
my
immediately.
favorite, where you see a 10 and it's like 20 minutes after the match starts, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, yeah. Anybody that would do that would, oh man, I mean that would break me out if somebody lost 10 minutes in the GVG today.
It took me 2 months to break that habit with some people. Like I had to remove people who weren't on Discord. I had to like go over things with people, and I had to explain to them, if you can go in there and bust out a 160 in 20 minutes, I'm not gonna say shit to you. I'm gonna be like, good job. You
Oh
fucking
yeah,
lose a match, we're gonna have a talk.
I think your guild is a little bit higher than mine, but like even your guild, like a win is like if everybody's getting 120s, sure, but like as long as you don't lose, it's not like losing 8 or 16 points in arena. Like it's 115, 120 versus 0 or 10 rather. Just get the win, and if you're always getting 120s, I mean, if you're competitive enough, that's bad. But like, just get the win. I
Yeah,
wouldn't bitch at anybody for a win.
no, no, a win looks a lot better, and I tell them it's, what happens if you lose early on? you basically give the other team a morale booster. Like, what happened
Mhm.
to those guys you fought? They were doing good to start, and then all of a sudden they started having like 3 losses in a row. Like, they just started tanking, and I guess they started panicking because they went from having a strong offense to where it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to like treat these guys serious to this is a fucking joke.
Yeah. Oh, there's something and there- like the Chinese guilds operate differently, don't you? Like when you come across them or like random Chinese guilds, you ever notice they never attack near reset? Like I'm sure in our guilds, there's always people online active like 24/7. Does China have like a national bedtime? Because I've never seen like any activity before like midnight.
They
Obviously, they're
do
basically opposite of us in
they do
time.
have curfews and other stuff in that country, but I don't know how
And
ironclad they are because some people play with like VPNs and kind of do things outside the government jurisdiction.
the gaming limits are for only 18 and under, right?
I believe so. I think they're just
Okay.
18 and under.
I don't know if it's a cultural thing or a law thing, but like, I mean, is that just my experience, or have you seen that when you have a Chinese guild, like, nothing happens for hours and hours and hours? And I don't mean most of them. I mean like any of them.
I I'm trying to remember when they first attacked. Like their first hit didn't come for like 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. We didn't get any activity from them at all. They got most of
Yeah.
their matches done in the middle of the night. So yeah, we just you don't. There's certain hours where they're not going to do anything, and maybe it is a law, or maybe they just wait until somebody's online to actually to strike.
Yeah, I mean, even the less coordinated ones. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it works out the same overall, but like, yeah, it's just always annoying. It's like I want to see like how this is looking, and like I go to bed and it's like 1,000 to 0 or something because they haven't touched anything yet. But
And then you wake up and everyth's gone to fucking hell.
I think we've only lost to. I think between my experience in CG 13 and Chasers, we've only lost to Starfall as far as Chinese guilds, though. I see great participation among them, but maybe I'm not remembering everything. I
I
don't know.
mean,
It's
that's not bad.
amazing how many of the like barely any guilds have full participation. Even in the finals, like the ones that have won their participation matches or what do you call it, like round robin, whatever they are, the qualifiers. Um, I mean, CG 13 beat a more established rank 171 guild. We're only in like 350. And we had 10 out of 12 players. They didn't even do 3 matches. So
It just seems like in the lower tier, a lot of these guys they don't even remember to come on some days and just do their matches. Like these aren't people who will log in religiously every day, get their dailies done, do their activities. These are people who may sometimes not even touch the game for 3 or 4 days, which they're not big time spenders or invested. They're just there.
yeah, that's a weird thing. Like, I mean, not everybody is as hardcore as you and I, but like I mentioned, so we lost one player. He stopped playing like immediately after sign up.
Hmm.
Thank you for that. Although honestly, I was worried about having 10 people in the new guild anyway. I would have asked him to sign up before leaving anyway, honestly, so I can't be too upset about it. But yeah, there was one guy that was participating for most of his matches, and then I'm like, where is he? He's been logging in every day, and then I noticed he hasn't logged in like 41 hours, and I was thinking, if that were my account, that would mean I quit. Like, you or I would just consider our accounts trashed if we logged out for like 48 hours and didn't have progress.
Was that
Um,
guy a low level CP or was he like a decent CP player?
I think it was like a relatively new player. Like I said, CG 13 is not like our. I would like to shape it up, mold it eventually, but this is our. It's just for overflow. Um, I mean, for a month, honestly, we're having trouble filling spots. But I mean, we got enough right now. But there's not like people coming through constantly and like, I need a guild. I need a guild. Like, I feel like that's slowed down more every month. But yeah, a month or two ago, we could have used a secondary guild for all the people, just desperate to fly under the Chase Games flag.
Because
Um,
of the anniversary and everything with the hype for the game?
Yeah, that definitely built it up. So I was thinking like once we fill up CG 13, well, probably just to help out new players and so I can have more minions.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would probably be when I would start a third guild
Build
as
the empire.
second anniversary. There's no point doing it earlier.
No, because the hype's waned down. And it's weird because people are like, well, Kage, why do you put like a 900k CP limit on your guild? And I tell people it's not so much the CP, it's the investment. It's like people with more CP aren't going to just vanish from this game for 48 hours. Those people are going to be there every day and do their matches.
Mm. Yeah, and like I said, as far as new players, like when they started during 1.5 and DQ9 running at the same time, it wasn't necessarily good for day one players. But if you're starting your account, getting to re-roll for Sorrow and then pick up Fallen Angel Corvus right away, lots of other good stuff there. It's like there's some Fallen Angel Corvus and Sorrow together. That's half of your arena team basically. Like you can just fill in the rest. You got noobs coming in with whale accounts. It looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. They
So,
basically they either whale or they re-roll and shuffle, and they've got a decent set of guilds. With a good offense and a good defense. Because I mean, most of the people I fought for that Chinese guild, they scored pretty well. I mean, they were getting a couple of 160s, and they were doing well at the start. But I think what happened to them is they got complacent. They just went in and they swung, and then when they're like, because you always have your stragglers, your people who don't do your matches early, and then those people who don't have the boxes or don't have the time invested, they got stuck fighting like the shit end of the stick. Like you don't want somebody fighting like Game Vision's Max Awakened Diamond Slime if they don't have something comparable. And
oh yeah,
somebody actually went against that, you know.
yeah, and that's why I always try to like we definitely don't coordinate matches in chasers, but like we just kind of have this thing where the experienced players will either hang back and or just let the I don't want to say lesser players, but the people that are less skilled at PvP, they'll pick their matches first.
Well, yeah,
We
because you
just try
want
to all
everybody to
go
win.
to our
I mean,
strength.
you don't want people to take losses. So I mean, if you know somebody's not going to be as good as a matchup, you don't want to send that person against like their A team. You want
Mm.
this person to take a win, and you want to go up against the A team, or you want to have somebody else who's more capable.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, if people lose, if you take enough losses, that's gems lost for everybody.
Yeah, and I don't know how many other players in chasers are in my situation. I always mention this, like, if you don't have an evasion team, like I roll evasion as much as I can because, then I have to think less. You just kill casters first.
Yeah,
But I would say, like, if you're not bringing an evasion team, take on the breath users, take on the magic. Get out, take on Baramos and what's the other? I don't know. Just caster that dragon Greynarl. I avoid Greynarl like the plague, but if you got them, take them out. So I usually take on the hardest, mostly physical team I can find. Because
well,
with
yeah,
an
you play
evasion
to your
team, you just
strengths.
literally aren't worried. They can get lucky sometimes with Elena and Sorrow, but
Yeah,
like
you
I said,
play to
it's
your
just not
strengths.
that big a deal to lose a unit in GVG.
No, not at this. I mean, if this was like Starval versus Arena Watch, where 10 points could literally make the difference of a match, that's different. But those people are like sitting there for hours trying to play 4D chess. I'm
They
not doing that. I am
they've
never
told me
doing
they
that.
still have, yeah, they've told me they still have fun, but I don't. That doesn't sound fun to me. Chasers, we have a blast. CG 13 ain't that bad either. I jumped over to help them out, so
I mean,
I think I
I'm
gone on
I'm
about this
just
way.
happy we get the same rewards as the big boys, and we don't have to put in as much work. I'll take it. Is it competitive? No. Are we bullying people? Yes. Are we also bullying some bullies technically? Yeah. I mean, that one guild bullied you guys, and then they got
Oh,
bullied.
well, I know some of the top guilds complain like, why do we get matched up against the other top guilds? I'm like, You think that like the you know the little kids at like rank 80 or whatever are gonna say when they get paired with Arena Watch, like how is that fair to them?
No, they have no chance of winning. I mean,
Yeah.
some of these guilds are like super casual. Uh, the system, for whatever reason, the system works, and if you know how to game the system to avoid that shit, go for it. But I like feel bad for like Questocrats or whatever they're called, because they're like they get beat up every week or every month, and they're like we're super casual. Well, you could throw your guild away and start over and not have to worry about that. And they're like, no, we're okay. Well, then quit your complaining. Take your licks. I gave you an out. I gave you a solid out. If you don't take it, I don't want to hear it. Go back to getting beat up or get better at that point. That's all you can do. Or just hope you get lucky.
But so I've asked this like 3 times. I'm pretty sure you said, but just on it. So this is your second Masters one in any of your guilds. I know that you got a new guild every 5 minutes, but like out of your leadership combined guilds, this is your second Masters victory.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your? Did you get? And then you got Plat one 2 months ago when you screwed up with your junior guild or whatever.
Yeah, they got Master 1, I got Plat 1. It's been interesting because we're at a point where I mean, we literally fought our sub guild 3 times this round. We fought them once and we tied them. We fought them again in the second end of the division. We tied again, and then obviously we couldn't tie for the finals because of the points, and we had that other guild. It wasn't going to happen, so we just fought it out at that point, and
Yeah.
so we fought 2 legitimate guilds this season, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's why I know in my Discord, if that were to ever happen, we've got different channels for the guilds, and like right now, I've got my chasers have access to both, just so they can help out the the newbie scrubs. But yeah, if it ever came, like if we were competing, you're like, all right, everybody's on their own, um, separate channels and whatnot for strategizing.
Hmm.
Here's another small topic. Every once in a while, I see, and it's usually like the people that just put out like random little videos, but they'll post their GVG match. I think that's kind of dirt. I don't like that because
Well, you give away somebody's formation. You totally fuck that person over.
the formation is huge, yes, and I know I like to include like a surprise scroll every once in a while, which honestly I shouldn't have even admitted that on air. If you're being super duper careful in GVG, look at learned moves. By the way, little pro tip there, because I've relied on that a couple of times. I don't know if it works, but I know that my defense team does fairly well. But yeah, I mean, if you've got 2 units that are both weak to like crack, then you know that like, if you're trying to take everything out, like if you have 2 1 turn, got to take them out units. If they're next to each other or apart, knowing that is huge. That you can take them out with like, 2 AOE, an AOE unit or two, or if you've got to like focus on 2 separate points, that's a huge thing.
I mean, what we do is if we have an opponent that's pretty strong and we have retries, we'll send in a gopher. The gopher will get us the formation, the agility, and what they use, and then we'll know
Okay.
everything. And then we'll 160 that team because hey, we know where they're at, what the agility is, and if there's any surprises, and it's just that person goes in and it's an easy win. And so it's like that. It's like you post that video up there, and then some other team fights them later on, and they know to go back to look at the video. Well, you've just handed them an easy victory.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, the agility matters a lot too, knowing the agility. Sorry that nobody fought your defense team this time, Hutch. I was what I never got into all the Hutch drama. What is he, like a whale that wasn't very good at PvP or something like that?
So essentially, from what they said, is he was a whale, wasn't really good at PvP, didn't follow directions, didn't want to have any coaching, and he got replaced for Nibs, who now
So let me guess, they treated him like an asshole. He didn't take their help, and then they're like, you're not trying, so fuck you. Is that it?
pretty much they kicked him out from Nibs, who then Nibs stayed around for 2 months. He ran off with his boyfriend Aces, and they're going to start their own guild, which I think AW kidnapped Aces from Tukey. It's a whole convoluted thing. It's very weird how this all played out at the end of the day.
I don't know what Pac's gonna do without somebody telling him how fucking stupid he is all the time. So
He'll
I
find
think he's gonna
somebody.
slip now. He's gonna get too cocky without somebody insulting him. Around the clock.
I'm just gonna break down the timeline. Yeah, Hutch he helps out. I mean, he helped us. We tried to 45 minutes to help Game Vision because he didn't know how to share his screen and shit. So, well, he got a 135, which isn't. Again, it's a win. It's not hateful. It's great, but it's just like he helps out and he does his thing, and I just have to talk him down from a ledge every month. That's about it.
Uh, Oh, hey. So, well, I don't know if you want to jump topics or not. Have you been keeping up with? I've heard that Malcolm made some relevant statements lately, but
Oh,
I only get screenshots in the gist of things sometimes.
so from my understanding is we are getting the rank 8 shop. I'm assuming that we're going to have a different ticket in there instead of EKM because
Yeah.
EKM it's
Oh,
going to be done at that point.
by the way, just sorry to interrupt you. I don't think that we had anything to do with that. If they translated it, that was the original. It was probably just all in the batch or whatever, and they already decided to screw us. So they're like, yeah, that'll just be the event for or the campaign
Kind of
for.
like Dread Dragon. They just dropped Dread Dragon randomly for whatever reason. My bitching about it didn't make Dread Dragon come out back in the day. It just happened.
I see a lot of community members satisfied that we got them to put it in. Dude, no. I think there's almost no chance that we changed their minds. They just admitted that it's coming. Um, they wouldn't just change something like that. But no, didn't he make a comment about Golden Week? I don't know how confirming it was, but he said that it wasn't skipped. I don't know if that was confirmed or if he said not
I
necessarily
don't
skipped.
know. I'd have to look. Let me see. See if I
But
can find it. I'm curious.
yeah, sorry. I could make another alt account, but it's just not
Yeah,
worth it.
I
And
know. Well,
when
you're not good
Malcolm
at
is
being a
talking,
spy. You're just not
yeah,
good.
well, they caught onto my alt account extremely quickly because all you have to do is not sound like an idiot and confront Malcolm.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. Only I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah. Well, you only qualify for one of those conditions.
Well, I'm definitely an idiot, so haha.
I thought that would go over your head, so you're not as bad as I thought.
No, no.
All right, so while you're looking at that, Hutch says, first GVG, I did okay. I lost a match. I didn't even know you could stream match in Discord. Couldn't stream with YouTube and didn't feel like doing it with Twitch. They asked. I said I would be okay. Oh, I get it. Dude, if I didn't get into streaming and all this, and somebody told me to stream my match, I'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? I don't know how to do that. I kind of get it. Um, but and again, dude, Twitch still confuses me. Not that I've really used it that much. I told Kage earlier what I've been doing with my chasers and CG13 since there's some newer players. I'm not exactly a good person to learn from in PvP, but I just did an unlisted stream for my GVG matches, which is probably easy to do from your phone or whatever if you're not using a computer and an emulator.
I did that today. I just threw it up in the Discord. Some people came in. Shark Guy's like, you should use this unit. I'm like, okay, cool. And then
Right after I told you, did
yeah,
I give you the idea?
yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll give it a go. And I
It's
do it.
fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun, and I didn't play the way Shark Guy wanted. I wasn't patient. I went in and just punched the guy in the mouth and got the 160, but it all worked out.
I tried to be careful with mine. I had a really easy last team to take on today because they were a 14-member squad, and we only had 12, and again, only 10 participants. So,
So there's not a lot of
I
room
really
for error.
expected better. The accounts weren't scrub accounts for the most part, but yeah, just no coordination. That's I mean,
Oh,
look,
and Malcolm's
CG13 is looking
alluded
for
to
spots.
things. He hasn't. It's like, yeah, maybe Golden Week could show up at some
Oh,
point.
okay.
Great. Okay, cool. We don't have any definitive.
Oh, so nothing even close to concrete. Yeah.
No, I don't. Until I actually see a notice in the game that says we're getting it or it's on a roadmap, yeah.
Um, Oh yeah. So what? Honestly, I need to apologize to Square and everybody involved right now because they really put me in my place for that big compensation package we got the other day.
JP got
Uh,
that too. Don't feel special.
what?
Yeah,
No,
JP got that as well.
30,000 whole gold and
Yeah, they got that
a
too.
dozen.
You're nothing special. Don't let them fool you.
What? Well, we got 10 stamina herbs. That pretty much made up for the entire crunch.
No, no, no.
So
I don't know why we exactly got that thing and why JP got it, but it's they don't do compensation. Look at JM. JM didn't get shit.
well, I mean, he deleted his account. It's his own fucking fault, right?
Yeah, it's his own fault. He had to wait 19 and a half days to get unlocked.
Dude, 100 stam herbs would barely put a whatever, a budge in it. Again, I'm very tired today. Sorry, guys. Um, yeah, no, I made a video and I think I went easy on the math or easy on the things involved. Like it's pretty simple math. Like I just looked at the login bonuses over 90 days. The gems from dailies and whatnot. I mean, there's a whole lot that's missing there. Event coins and things of that nature. Um, uh, the gold. Well, I mean, the gold from the stamina. That's just part of stamina. But um, yeah, no. Just give us a portion of that list. I know what that list looks like. I couldn't tell you all the numbers, but like what they gave us, not even close to 10% of what we need to justify a crunch. And nobody expects all of that. If they gave us literally 10% of that, we'd all shit our pants and thank them. I would say thank you. I'd be like, oh, wow. They just gave us like 90 herbs. They wouldn't give us 100 because it stops at 99, I think. They just gave us like 90 herbs and like 200,000 gold. Oh my god, that's fucking amazing. Thank you. What they gave us wasn't even close. Like it's everything that they do that they call a compensation is literally insulting.
They just don't want to give stuff out, and I don't exactly know the mentality for it. I don't get it at all because other games you've mentioned Dokkan, Octo seems pretty decent so far with how they've compensated and they give things out to the players. Like some of their rewards were surprising to me because they try and time gate in that game, and they were giving out shards and other things that helped kind of alleviate the time gate, which made no sense to me. But I was like, okay, cool, thank you. That was nice. That sped things up by like 5 days for me. And then here it's like, well, if we give you guys compensation, you might ask for something else later on. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, they have this I know we've talked about this in circles, but like they have this mentality that anything that they give out to us for free is an item that we wouldn't have paid for in the shop. Um, it's they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Because like I said, I can't talk to Octo, but in Dokkan, I think that they take every little slip up, every typo or actually major event, they take it as an opportunity to give compensation to show like how cool they are. You know, really, what is 1,000 gems in this game? Like, it really doesn't get you that far. It's one third of a multi. But if an 8-hour maintenance gave us 1,000 gems, oh my god, we'd say like these guys are amazing. Even something like 600 or 700, 100 gems, or I think they've given us 80 gems before for like a ridiculously long extra maintenance. It's just it's just them telling us to fuck off. So
I don't get it. I mean, it's and this game it does things a lot differently than others. There's not like a daily pull. A lot of the gotchas back in the day would do at least like a one pull or something to keep people invested. It's like here they try and rein in as much as possible, and I don't know. Maybe it's the marketing strategy for this game, but other games do things a lot differently, and they seem to be making more money. So, but hey,
yeah,
that's Square for you.
yeah. I mean, I'm just getting those same points as the last couple of weeks, but it's like there's not a whole lot at risk. Like you can only go up for the most part. Um,
Not these guys though. But you know what? I don't know. I just feel like the management has changed here over the last couple of months. Somebody else came in and they're just doing things a lot differently. Not the compensation. The compensation they've always been jack shit, but just I don't know. It feels like a different atmosphere here.
No, I think it's just because people have noticed. I haven't noticed any change really, but dude, I am the glass half empty guy. So, um,
Chase half empty.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, doom and gloom here, I know, but let me see. I feel like we've beaten this one to death. Um, did we fanboyed over Jessica last week, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having more units. I mean, sure, it's going to be a different costume. She's going to have Marshall. She'll be like Dead or Alive volleyball for people. They'll all be happy. You know,
I'll be happy if they put the jiggly meter in there like actual DOA.
they they might. Who the fuck
Yeah.
knows? They might.
Oh, I don't know. They have a new interesting weapon that came with the event. I'm sure it was up last week, and I just didn't really care about it. Um, there's this new cactus weapon, it's an S rank that it has a 20% chance to proc an attack. That I
Ooh.
think this is unique. So it's just range one, um, but it deals 50% physical damage to one enemy and creates. It says togamos. I mean, this is Google Translate, but it must mean damage tile. It leaves a damage tile that deals 100 damage for 2 turns to friends or foe.
Huh.
That's pretty interesting.
That would be.
Um,
How would that work on KM with his successive attack? Would that be an additional proc on top of that, or would it? Huh. That's interesting. I
I
wonder how that
so
would
yeah,
work.
proc rate is 20%. I know some, I don't know how to tell this stuff, but some things go off strikes and some things go off the attack action. If I explain that right, you know what I mean?
Right, because he has the ability to do an additional action, or like Nightclubber too. Huh. That
Hmm.
is. I wonder how
I
that
don't
would
think
work.
that Nightclubbers is Nightclubber even worded properly. I didn't understand at all how it worked until I saw it in action. It procs per each enemy that it hits, right?
Yeah, for each
Yeah.
enemy, and whereas KM is has the ability to do a follow up action, which, from what you're telling me, the cactus weapon probably would have a better chance to proc once or twice, given the fact that two separate actions happen in one turn. Whereas with
Mm.
Nightclubber, it's just enemies in range, and then it's a follow up of a continuing action. If that makes any sense, I don't understand it. Well, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm explaining it well either.
I wonder. Well, then, Nightclubber would be amazing because he could have, if they count that as like completely different actions, um, then his ability would be great with a chaser. I mean, you could have that proc 3 or 4 times, although most of them are 40% chance, so it's not guaranteed. But yeah, that's something you might have to put on your Nightclubber, because then you're getting AOE damage tiles too.
Right, you're just
And
turning the fucking field into Swiss cheese.
yeah, I think 50% potency is look, that's not a lot of damage, but as a rider, I think 50% might actually be significant damage.
Well, extra
I don't know.
DPS is extra DPS depending on how much you need to squeeze out for a fight, so it's not bad.
Amen. I mean, the situation with Goresby and Sorrow right now, like sometimes that little extra damage at the end matters for Indomitable Spirits. So you never know. I mean, dude, I don't have to tell you, you've done more serious arena than I have. When people say that you don't need level 9 abilities for arena or GVG, you're fucking wrong.
Oh
The
yeah,
amount
you,
of
you
people
don't
they've been
need level
spamming with
9
single digit.
abilities on stuff for GVG if you're a fucking APK cheater. Like, that's the only people who ever prospered from that back in the day, was when they had the 4 move units. They didn't need to level anything up, and they just, like, one-shot everything. Like, yeah, those
Maybe
people didn't need it.
I feel like I was one of the first people to notice that. That was a long time
That
ago.
was a long,
Where I
long
was looking
time
at the
ago.
top players and I'm like, why did this scrub team win? Because
Yeah, it's like, why did, like, fucking Devil Moth and all these other, like, 4 move units get first place? This is weird. Like, who the fuck would use Devil Moth? Like,
pretty
huh.
much anything with A rank casters raised my alarm button.
Speaking of which,
A rank
when the
A
fuck is
rank
he getting the
casters suck
blossom?
so much.
Poor Devil Moth. He's like at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and he has 4 movement, right? He seems
Yeah,
like he should be good.
he has the
Um,
4 moves. So I mean, if they do something for him, I mean, they got to be getting to him soon. How many more units they have from the generic pool they haven't blossomed at this point?
yeah, there's not a whole lot. Um, I was just gonna go look. Sorry, I clicked away from the stream. I don't think that matters, though. You can still hear me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you. You're good. This is 2022.
Yeah. Ah, dude, I'm such a boomer. Anyway, I don't really know an easy way to look at things that aren't blossomed, but I know that there's Great Troll, White King before last week. Um, yeah, Emperor. Okay, so Emperor Slime, Great Troll. I think that's it now. That's it. Those are the only 2 left.
On the S ranks, so it's only Emperor and Great Troll for the S, and then the A's. There's probably a couple more A's left. I don't think
I
Living
do think
Statue
that they
got one.
try to avoid like some of the blossoms have been for units that aren't really awful yet. Um, so I think that they try to avoid giving them like mediocre blossoms. Like if they do their blossom too early, it has to be kind of mediocre, and then it falls off quickly. I honestly think that's the case with 2 of the 3 rides. I could be wrong about Deborah. She just doesn't look good to me. I don't like livid mode, but maybe I'm just too simple. Uh, Bianca, obviously, she's going to have great range and all that, but yeah, I feel like Nara and Deborah just got kind of mediocre blossoms because they might not be good yet, but they're not useless either. Um,
I just wasn't impressed by any of them. I mean, realistically, the last Blossom that really impressed me, besides Malroth, was Zoma. Like Zoma's Blossom. I'm like, okay, this one looks really good. I mean, this guy, they went all out for him, but I mean, they
hmm.
kind of had to. He's like a. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they sell Zoma merchandise still in JP to this day. Like they sell figurines,
Oh
T-shirts, the whole
yeah,
9 yards of him.
DQ3 is one of their favorite games ever. Not one of their favorite Dragon Quest games, like one of their favorite video games still in Japan, like of all time. Um, but no, I'm excited for the DQ2 stuff. I don't think Paranol's going to be very good, but Rickard. First of all, I just kind of have a soft spot for the DQ2 characters because they get crapped on so much. But
I wish I had
his,
Hargon. Fuck.
yeah. Oh, you don't have them?
No, I never got Hargon. No.
Oh, dude, that's when doing the 1.5 scouts. I remember there was a split second where I pulled Hargan, and I'm like, Hargan. It was the first awakening, and then I
Mm-hmm.
remembered, oh right, that's actually literally what I wanted more than anything else. Because I had an unawakened Hargan. I think that during the 1.5, the best thing to pull basically was Hargan because I think his Blossom is going to be awesome. Somebody posted a tier list where he was only like B rank. You and I know how tier lists work, but
It's it changes
I'm so
depending on who you ask and if they're doing it based off. Because some of these people do like a tier list based off of if it's like a one awakened unit or a max awakened. It's all over the place.
yeah. But I mean, he's got Archdemon's AOE in Zam type, which is desperately needed. Um, and he's got I think he negates the first attack or something, or he's got a heal or something. I know he's got dark robes. I'm pretty sure. He's got mitigation of some sort, a decent mitigation. So I think he's gonna wreck an arena.
I mean, he'll definitely
Um,
replace Dark Lord at this point when he does come in because Dark Lord's slowly getting phased out now. He was good for a while, but I mean, I guess aside from the blossoming roads, I don't really see much use for him anymore. Him and like what's his name, True Lord as well. True Lord seems to be kind of phased out at this point. You don't really see
True
him too
Lord is
much.
weird. Like you don't necessarily bring him for damage, although like I said, I do hate to see him in arena because he'll take out my dual Magus every time, and Breath is just the worst thing to see in arena right now. Um, but what was I gonna say?
Meanwhile, if I see him,
Uh,
I'm like a kid in the candy store because I'll just send Baramos.
oh yeah, see, like I said, I don't know how to turtle or play slow. Like I only know how to blitz, so Baramos isn't an option for me. Um, but yeah, I know that like if you do use him, he wrecks. Um, but yeah, the thing about Hargan actually already has a decent move set because he's still got the range 3 Cursed Kaboom. So he's got a major bang spell and that huge uh, range on uh, the Zam attack.
I'm hoping I
Um,
pick him up in 2.0 because I mean he would be a good set for Baramos since Baramos gives a nice passive for leadership. But it's just like, I mean, when they bring out Hargon's Blossom, they're going to bring out the banner. I mean, how many times do people actually bite on those, I guess, recovery banners, as you would call them? They
oh
don't seem very appealing.
no, what I don't understand is I think they only did it literally the one time for Dragon Lord. They gave him a special. I think it was a one-time only banner, but it was just one stamp card, and at the end you got Dragon Lord. That's completely fair for a 6 month plus old unit. Like, it's not worth going for, but if you can get them guaranteed on the 10th stamp, meh,
I
I
think
think it was a little
they
bit different
probably
math back in the day, but
they stopped doing that because of the other pity system, because then it overwrites the 45k one. So they're like, huh, well, if we don't do this, we'll get you to spend an extra 15k to get the unit. Fuck you.
yeah, yeah, that's probably about it. But oh, by the way, just about Hargan, I'm sure most people know about him already, but his heal is actually I forgot it's pretty sick. Recovers 50% of max HP when HP drops below 50%. Activates up to 2 times per battle.
So he's like
With
Hadler,
dark robes.
but
Um,
he's got more mitigation because I don't think Hadler has Dark Robes, but Hadler does have the 2 healing.
oh, okay, he heals twice. Okay, I missed Hadler. Hadler messed me up one time in arena because I said, I took this guy out once before. I don't care. Um, and then I also put my uh, teammates right in front of him, not realizing he had a strong line attack. So, uh,
Yeah, his is like four moves
yeah.
on Hadler. It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, and that Zam attack leaves 500 damage tiles in place in a 6 square area. That's I think it's gonna be sick. Um, was I? Oh, and he's got at Awakening 1, Master Rank 30, which is where I'm at. Um, he's got a 462 agility. That's not fast, but that's fast enough to put agility gear on him and outspeed quite a few
It's
things.
faster than
Depending on
most casters.
it basically depends on if they put agility gear on their units. I'll tell you, a lot of the teams I face don't have agility gear.
No, no, most of them don't, and it's just nice where I that defense I set up just really wrecks people because not only is like Red Hood and Burial fast already, but you just add the extra agility. They're guaranteed to go first. Like even if you match up your agility, it's like good luck.
Yeah, and so sorry, tell me if you don't want to talk about Blossom units too long, but
I don't care.
so like I said, this is unequipped. I'm just going off the database here.
Hmm.
Awakening 1, Master Rank 30. He's got 1145 HP. Remember, in Arena, that's going to get an extra 300. Or, sorry, 30%. So that with Dark Robes, he only needs to hit below 50% HP to trigger that heal. So, honestly, like, I can I can see him being really hard to take down.
He could definitely
Um,
be a good GVG defense unit. That's for certain.
he's really hard to one shot. And if you want to two shot him, then it's well, you got to do less than 50% damage and then more than 50% damage. Um, that's quite obvious, but yeah, I think he could end up being a real bitch.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
especially with the 2 heal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's he weak to though? That could matter a lot. Like if he's weak to Zap, he could probably still get taken down by Gorsby.
Gorsby
Okay,
would
yeah,
probably
he's
mess him
weak
up.
to Zap and Whoosh. So, uh, yeah, Gorsby might be a threat, but then again, you put something in front of Gorsby, that could help a lot. Depends. Well, Gorsby's pretty fast. Gorsby is pretty broken, and his Blossom doesn't really look that special. But a double attack, double agility boost. His new move is just icing on the cake. Like, it's the double agility, double attack boost that's really sick. So,
Hmm. I
all right.
just kind of wish I had Gorsby too. He's another one I don't have.
I actually got fairly lucky in the 1.5. I got him there too, and then what the hell else are you going to spend beast tokens on right now? I bought his Awakening ASAP. Um, he'll be in the general pool at the 2 year, right? Well,
Maybe. I mean, you don't know that. You,
oh my God, you're catching on, buddy.
you don't know that anymore. It's like, what happened to these other units? They didn't get put in the general pool.
Oh my, you know what they'll do for us at 2 year? They'll just add Valencia and Crystalinda and call it a day.
Oh, they'll be like, hey, here you guys go.
Or, I mean, this wouldn't rage me too much. Maybe they'll maybe they still won't put Krista and Valencia in, and they'll put in the other stuff.
Yeah, I'll just be like, who needs those other units? They're not important.
When in reality, what they should be doing is, I mean, we're going to be 2 months ahead of them. Also, you know what? I don't even know how to estimate where we'll be at 2 year in game time, but we should have more units in our general pool by then. But there's 0% chance of that.
It's just too bloated as is. It's getting to the point where, I mean, what are they going to have? 25 S units in the general pool, and your chances of getting, like, people were like jumping like, oh wow, they're going to put Seraphy in the general pool. Yeah, you've got like a 1 in 25 chance on top of the smallest percentage to get Seraphy out of there at that point.
I want to say it's 30 or 32, but it's been a long time since I looked.
It's just a shit show.
I think it's everything before the 1 year. Anyway.
Ugh. God.
Yeah. Oh, and little side note, they changed the general SP banner. It now goes up to where they modified it at the 1 year. So it's still not good. It never could be, but yeah, they couldn't. They updated it when they increased the general pool, but they still wouldn't put the new general pool units in the shit SP banner. They just there's not even a reason to summon on that banner, and they still couldn't improve it.
I don't know. Maybe because sometimes they give us free tickets for it. They don't want us getting anything good out of there. I don't
That's
know.
it. Yeah. They wouldn't want us getting a 1 year old unit for free when they want us to get an 18-month-old unit for free.
Now, what do you think they're going to go with the game in JP? I mean, they're redoing. They basically went in and called this new one the True Event for the latest number event. Are they going to do that for all of them? Like make a true DQ1 event? I mean, what are they going to tackle next? Are they going to go for like Heroes, the series there, or even the Builder series for units?
Well, I know that okay, again, everybody's tired of it already. In Dokkan, they will focus on sections of a saga or a movie or something like that. Basically, almost scenes will be what what an account is over. Because I mean, they've gone for 7 years, so they just basically get more specific in what they do. Things will be from, like I said, a scene or just part like a couple episodes or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, dude, they could redo the classic games over and over. It's not like they covered all the story, and they didn't exactly cover the story anyway. So, yeah, they could redo these events every year.
I guess they could come out with a new variation of Dragon Lord. I remember Bleach. Bleach literally that it was a big time anime. They have a gotcha. They got to the point where they ran for so long that they started doing like a custom Aizen unit for just a gotcha.
Yeah, dude. I've talked about this before with my guild mates and on my own streams. I think it's been a while, but dude, there's so many possibilities. If this game ran long enough, we would start seeing duo units. Kirill and Elena together. All the main heroes of one team being a unit, things like that. Maybe it doesn't work in this game, but you could definitely see duos together.
I don't see why they. I mean, if they could make giant monsters in this game, I don't see why they can't come back. A couple of different units together in one set. Maybe they'll have to take up 2 tiles or something if they do it that way. I mean, because
I think
they're going to be expanding the board. They're going to be, once the true event comes in, we're going to have 8 units for an all-out battle, so they're going to be making the boards bigger.
I couldn't see multi-tile units, but I'm wrong about stuff all the time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they've done some things that I wouldn't expect. Dude, the people that make the game are really good at it. The people that run the game are fucking awful.
Well, yeah, because you've got it's like anything with these games and developers. You've got the people who put their heart and soul into these games, and then you have the scumbags in suits who look how to sell it and make the most for the investors. Those people don't give two
Ex-
fucks about how things run for the
yeah,
game.
except in Square, I don't think that those people really know what they're doing. I don't think they know how to make money.
Considering they gave a bunch of IPs away for dirt cheap that they could have milked. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, they think NFTs are going to be a big thing for them. I just don't see that happening.
I don't know if it's that I don't know what an NFT is. I've been explaining, I just don't know anybody would assign value to them.
It's basically like I send you a screenshot. That's your screenshot, and you can keep it forever. And you're gonna pay me lots of money for it and to make it your own. And then some guy could come in the middle of the night, break into your computer, take it, and you lost all that value.
Yeah, it still makes
It's
no
a
sense.
horrible fucking concept. It's just it's like cryptocurrency. Just JPEG cryptocurrency. It makes
It's
no
just
sense
yeah,
to me.
because some people were stupid enough to put value in it, and now has value.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Whereas
like
then again,
Seth
I
Green.
think that's the same thing with. I couldn't understand why Bitcoin was worth anything because I'm like, hey, that's just people putting value into it. It has no value, but people decided to give it value, so it has value now. But I guess that's any currency now. So
Right. I mean, I understand tangible assets like gold, silver, things like that. Those fluctuate. Those are nice to have in case the dollar ever drops. But I don't get something where you're never going to see it, you're never going to hold it, and that has value.
I just wish that in college I wouldn't know how to, but just wish I'd bought $1 worth of Bitcoin. You remember when those things weren't even worth close to a penny?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew how to farm Bitcoin back then. I would have done it. I would have made some money off of it. I had a decent PC back then, but I just you never know. It's like GameStop. You never thought GameStop was going to rise in price so much that people were making thousands upon thousands of dollars on it. I just saw GameStop as the Bobo company that ruined what was it? Electronic Boutique. Like they just
Oh
ruined
yeah.
Electronic Boutique.
Man, way to show off that the I don't know how you want to put it, how the system is against us because I mean there was interference there just because people were making money that weren't Wall Street investors.
Oh yeah,
Like
Robinhood. That whole Robinhood thing. Just
yeah,
people couldn't go in and buy or sell stock, and nothing
yeah.
happened to them. They got slapped on the
No,
wrist at the end of the day.
we needed to take it easy on the people who literally spend their entire life fucking over the average person, the average investor. But if these guys start, if the higher powers that be, if their friends start losing money, then it's a big deal.
Oh, then we got to bail them out. We got to do what we can to save them. They need their jobs.
Well, I mean, dude, let's not get too political, but yeah, this too big to fail thing. When companies know that they're too big to fail, then they operate on that. That's what's going on with BlackRock right now. They're literally buying up property because they're gonna do go bankrupt. They can't. They've been told that they won't be allowed to go bankrupt. So
Yeah, so just buy up as many
you get
properties as
to
they can, like it's Monopoly.
yeah.
Huh.
Anywho, um, yeah. So what kind of events they could do in the future? Well, I'll tell you this crossover event. Do you give the slightest fuck with what is it? War of the Visions?
As somebody who played that game for a little bit, and I say a little, I've gone back to it like once or twice. It
Hmm.
kind of means nothing to me. Like if they were to do a crossover with maybe Final Fantasy VI characters just exclusively, I'd be more
Yeah,
invested. Or maybe Final Fantasy VII, I would care
Final
more.
Fantasy VII for sure. And that's the kind of thing that can get new players in.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I would not mind some Final Fantasy characters in. Why the fuck would anybody want the main characters from another Final Fantasy gotcha game? The people that play that game don't give a shit about those characters, I'm sure.
no, I
Unless it
mean,
works very differently from any gotcha I've heard of.
I understand. The Die crossover was awesome. It was unexpected. Cool. I
It's Dragon
watched the
Quest
anime.
characters.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
didn't care too much, but yeah.
I watched the anime, so I was like, okay, this is cool. And I played the other Die Gotcha for a little while before I saw the writing on the walls that this game was fucked, and it still is.
You mean you played it for 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, actually played it for like 2 months. I stuck around for a while, but even the wife played it for a while. She thought it was okay, and then she got bored of it too. And we were like,
Yeah.
this
I,
game doesn't have a future.
I think it started right when I went back to work, which is the only reason I didn't try it, but nothing about it looked too appealing to me, other than the fact that it was another Dragon Quest gotcha, and that excitement died really quick.
It. I like the fact it had guilds day one, which was nice. So it had guilds, and
Mm,
believe it or not, I know this is a crazy concept. It had chat in the game for the guilds too. Yeah,
mm.
you could talk to people. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like I know I'm probably in the minority about not being upset about that. I've said this before. Let's just stress it again. It's very easy to make your own Discord. Like
It
if you
is. I
run a
mean, it's just
if
the
you run any
fact.
level of guild, make your own Discord.
It's just the fact that it's something that got scrapped from the game for some probably bullshit reason. It's like it's just one other thing that they took out that yeah, you should go you should make your Discord even if you have chat. I agree. It's just there's way more things you could say or do and there's a level of coordination that you can't achieve in an in-game chat for any of these phone games. It's just not there.
Yeah,
But for them
no,
to
not even
just
close.
not add it for whatever reason and then say they want to add an emote system after the fact, it's like what's the fucking point of the emote system? You,
Yeah,
they don't do
yeah,
anything in
just
any of the games that have an emote system to them.
yeah. Work on more important things, like I don't know, taking 8 seconds to modify any event shop that's ever hit the game.
Something.
I think
Ugh.
we talked. We talk about the rank 8 crystals last week? How they're severely overvalued.
No, but I mean, it's you just take one look at or maybe we did. I think we did just because I was like, oh, well, you can just go in, do the all-out battle, and get the fragments, or you could do
Finally did that today.
yeah,
Yeah,
or you can just
you only
go
have to
in
clear
and suffer.
normal for the
Yeah,
fragments. Yeah,
yeah, you only have to do
and it's
normal all the way. Yeah,
like when now I have to. I heard that hard is easy. I think I've I'm not ashamed to say this. Like anything that like you know things in this game, like if you can't auto them, there's a very narrow line between things that you can actually play and then things that you either need to slam your fucking head against the wall or follow a guide. But there's like three people that make guides in this community, and two of them are whales. So it's like you got to pray that there's a guide with a team that you can use, and then that's not always that simple. But yeah, I mean, you're not trying to fight through things in this game. You are trying to figure out a very vague puzzle with RNG involved. You know.
or
Um,
if you've played long enough, because I can't imagine trying to do this as a new player. I have an advantage because I have old world units that have max awakens or I've farmed up a bunch of different things, and I've been able to kind of beat some of these fights, where I can just go in with my teams and toy around for a little bit, and then I'll make some progress, and then I'll win with what I have. But half the people don't have like Max Awakened story units or other things they could pull from to do any of that. They're
hmm.
they're fucked. It's like good luck. Go look at the whale guide, and the whale guide says you need to have this unit, and they're like, well, I didn't even play when this unit came out. What do I do?
And then as far as the evaluation of them compared to, especially compared to fragments in this one, now you could say that it's a gift that they wanted the fragments to be easy. I'll give them that. But I was thinking, like, I immediately just went and bought the 30 fragments, and I'm like, maybe I should have held on to it in case, like, I couldn't get one mission on, like, very hard if I even bother doing it. It's like, I could have had the rank 8 crystal if I didn't buy all 30. Like, maybe I could have gotten 28 of the fragments and then the crystal, and I thought, like, immediately, like, no, I would rather have two fragments than the rank 8 crystal in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, I think I see it more as a trap because let's say somebody
Yeah.
wants that rank 8 and they don't understand that that's kind of you could get that you have three to six chances a day to get that crystal, and they save up and they do all the fights they can to get that crystal. Well, now you have to do super hard content to then get the fucking fragments. I wouldn't want to be in that situation. That sucks. Like, good luck, getting the remainder of the fragments on the back end.
Mm.
Whereas you could have gotten them on the front end because you can't get those fragments every day. You don't have a chance to get those fragments every day. It's
No.
it's not something that comes around. So it's like you're better off just taking these. And if you can't get the rank 8 crystal, oh well. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It makes no sense to spend 5 to 10 hours to get that crystal. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know about you, but I place hero and boss fragments. Boss even more so than hero in their own category. You know, boss and hero fragments are finite. There's only so many that come in events. There's no weekly thing. There's no daily mission
No.
that rotates to hero or boss fragments. And then even with master medals, that is a finite resource too, which I highly suggest. Other than emergencies isn't the right word, but like, you really need a couple more slime tokens or something. But you gotta save those for boss and hero fragments. And honestly, up until very recently, possibly with Erdrick, the bosses have always been clearly better than the heroes. So really, you only use master medals on bosses. So
I think the last
yeah,
time I
anyway,
used one was I did awaken up Terry because Terry's a really good unit. So I used hero fragments on him, and I used or not hero. I used boss fragments on human Zoro. So it's like those were like two instances where you use them. But for everything else, I'm not gonna worry or stress about having to waken up +1 a unit that's like in the beast family. I'd wait on that shit. It'll come in its own time. There's no reason.
oh yeah, I mean, a unit like Gorsby, I never would have used the fragments on him, knowing that he's coming to the general pool in a couple of months. Except, I would say Gorsby is unbalanced right now. Plus, Zap is so lacking. He is, and I don't think it's 100% of the time, but like, Gorsby's basically the only one-to-one answer for Sorrow, right? Like, I don't think that's an exaggeration at all. Nothing. I've heard that a highly awakened
Veronica.
Juliante can do well against him, but that requires a little luck, I think. And then she's very fragile. Um,
Well,
so
yeah,
yeah, I think
because there's the
Gorsby's
evasion
the only real
aspect
answer.
with Sorrow as well. I mean, he has the ability to evade attacks the longer the fight goes on. So, I mean,
Hmm.
the only other time where I've been able to like just really easily neutralize Zoro is with luck with Baramos, where he just goes up, he hits the confusion on him, he follows up with a bang attack, and that Zoro's done. It's just he's not going to do anything for the rest of the fight. He's dead. But
Mhm.
that's a chance. That's a gamble.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so I think we're both on the same page. Nobody cares about the War of the Visions crossover.
No,
Yeah.
it's unless they somehow were to cross over and bring in some units I care about from other Final Fantasy games, that would
Hmm.
be different. Like if they said they were bringing over like Sephiroth or Kefka or some of the other characters, cool. That I would be excited about that. That'd be awesome. Even the Chocobo,
Oh,
they bring a Chocobo over. That'd be kind of cool for a
oh
unit.
yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
I
I'm a
yeah.
huge Final Fantasy VII simp. You know,
Could they bring a Chocobo? I mean, guess they could technically. Huh.
Chocobo would be perfect.
Yeah. Does anybody know if we're getting a Chocobo in that event? Let me know. Please let me know. I would love to have a Chocobo. That'd be badass.
Um, so they kind of like, I mean, three was almost like I don't know what you'd call it, not a reboot, but yeah, I mean, they called it the True Event. Didn't label Q, well, they didn't label DQ5 that way when they. I don't think they did anything with DQ5, right? 5 and 2 just came. The Reminiscence just came alongside other events, I believe.
Yeah, they just
Um,
popped out of nowhere. Like nobody expected some of those to just land. Oh,
and then
here's another one that's kind of weird. How come we didn't get the Dragon Tower with the Reminiscence?
yeah, I don't understand. They could just it's
I
just
still don't get that. I mean, I know we talked about it last week a little bit, and I was looking to see if somebody had like a legitimate answer, but they just gutted a whole brick of content for people and didn't give anybody an answer because people asked. People were like, hey, why did this get removed? And it's like they
other
forgot about the tower.
other than greed. I think it might be because in JP it was associated with other rewards that wouldn't be repeated that we never got on global anyway. The tower was very pointless on global, other than showing how big your dick was, because it was just 50 gems a win, right? Or did it have 80?
I think it was just 50 a
Yeah.
win, but it was nice because I mean there were like 40, 50 floors of the tower, so it was some decent gems, and the
Yeah.
tower didn't get hard for myself until like 40, 41, 42. So it was a lot of easy gems, and then towards the end of the tower is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had like after 30, I couldn't auto anymore. I think it was around then, and then it's like, dude, I just didn't want to. And I realized I'm giving up what 20 floors of 50, so 1,000 gems, which you know what is a lot in this game, but also it's also like nothing. Like
It's time
with as much
management, as I
currency as
said.
they give out, it's a lot. But like as far as going to scout and stuff like that, it's nothing.
Well, see, it's only
So
a lot if you can't spend money. If you're like Tropical Visions and you can't get two pennies together, 1,000 gems for free is a lot. But if you can throw in some money every couple of weeks, you could work
it's
an extra hour and
yeah,
make
it's
more.
and then I was spending as not as much as I want. Like if I wanted a unit, I would spend. I was still very selective in what I got. I did almost all the paid once onlys though, but yeah, that was what I was thinking. I was like, this is compared to an $80 pack. This is $7, $8 worth of gems, and it's going to take me hours of work and frustration. Like I said, anything that's more than a mild challenge, I find extremely frustrating. It's not fun to me in the least bit. I'm like, I'm not going to do this to myself for $7 worth of gems.
I'd
So
I'd rather I like it when they do the units. Like, okay, I will suffer to get Rapthorn. I suffered to get him to 4 week, and I'll go back and max him out. I'll suffer for a cool S rank unit because you're
I
going
don't
to
even
use
touch
that
that.
unit at some point. That unit's always with you. You know, it's extra mastery levels. You're going to get some value out of them. But for like an icon, a couple extra gems, I don't really
Yeah.
care about any of that.
And you know, that's the kind of thing that I really like in a gacha when it's permanent, the Dragon Tower. Okay, I'm bored. Let's go work on that permanent content that's very little reward, but you know, I can say like, oh, I completed it eventually. You know?
It's like the EX fights back in the day. Those EX fights didn't just disappear one day. They're still there for people.
Yeah. I can still be one of the big boys and get all of my icons.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's a handful that were temporary, but
Uh,
okay.
well, yeah, there's
Most,
some. I mean,
I
they may
feel like
still come
most
back.
games, like I think it's laziness on their part, even for the JP version. I feel like most games would have taken the icons out when they brought them back, because it really kind of makes them meaningless.
I just surprised they never did anything where you either got some sort of boost or power for the amount of icons you had. They could have easily have done something just to reward long-term players and make them want to work towards that content more by adding some sort of incentive or power up to your teams by getting them. But it just seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's the name of the game for them.
Yeah,
Um,
missed opportunity. Oh shit.
so let me see. They haven't done like a return to DQ1 event, right?
No,
But
I
they
don't think there's anything
but they
for it.
did blossom both of the thing. But I mean, well, they've blossomed Dragon Lord and DLTF already, but they haven't done the hero. So I mean, if they did Erdrick, they can do. I don't remember what. I think there is like a canon name that people at least use. DQ1
Loto? I
hero.
don't I don't remember. I'm trying to think. What was his name?
Um, but but the hero I would love that character. I think I've made it obvious. I love anything Dragon Warrior 1 related. So I would love to see him. And I hope they give him a spell called Hurt More. That would be fun.
Huh.
I hate the remakes of Dragon Warrior 1 where they rename all the spells. Ugh.
So apparently his name is Aleph in DQ1, from what JP's saying.
Huh.
Oh,
Alfgard is just the name of Alfgard is the name of the continent or the kingdom.
huh,
Um
that's interesting. I
I know,
didn't even know he had a name.
yeah, I know that sometimes they use like another language's version like just the like maybe the Latin for the number of the game or something as the hero, or it doesn't really matter. I'd be interested to know what name they give him. Um, but maybe maybe he doesn't come with one and you have to name him yourself. That would be cool, but they wouldn't do that.
No, that'd be too much free will.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, I would love to see a Dragon Warrior 1 event because they feel like they went through more of that game than most, but it's a pretty simple game. But if we consider Dragon Quest 2 and Dragon Quest 5 as you know, done because they blossomed the characters and brought them to reminiscence, there is well, they've done the same with 4, but a very long time ago. Um, what else? Are there any of those early games that they did like in the first 8 months or so? That I mean, DQ7, true DQ7 event coming.
I mean,
I
I
think that game was more
guess.
popular in Japan. I think there's a lot more 7 fans over there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have like a vague memory of seven. I feel like I played it at some point and then it just didn't resonate
Yeah,
with me. Like I remember nine. I remember
I
nine really well on the DS.
I, I barely remember anything about the story in 7 other than it was fragmented. It was. I mean, this is the case for a lot of Dragon Quest, but 7 especially. It's all about the journey and not the destination. The story is just there sometimes. Um, so
Well, yeah,
you can't play for the end of 7. Like you're just playing it and then eventually it ends.
it's like, oh, okay, this was fun. And then you move on. It's it's not a. It's kind of like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. If you ever played that game, I don't think anybody played it for the story. They just played it because it was slightly different and it was fun.
Hmm. Isn't that the one that they made like baby mode for Americans?
I think they actually did. I think they made like an easy mode for that game because people complained.
Yeah. I like you literally couldn't lose or something. I think if you lost a battle, they just put you back in front of them or something,
I think,
which is getting
yeah.
more common now. But
I never used to. Yeah, that was something people just don't know how easy they have it these days. Where you lost and that was the save file and that was hours of progress, and now you just get put back somewhere, or they give you the option to just tone the game down completely.
um, I'm still thinking about future events. So the only thing that they haven't blossomed the characters for is 7, and the late sorry the young or the oldest content that they haven't
Well, S Stark
blossomed in
hasn't
until
gotten the
7.
blossom yet either, and
Who hasn't?
S Stark hasn't, and so hasn't
Hmm.
what was it, Green Zorro?
Oh, Manslayer. So yeah,
Yeah.
4 and okay, that's. I feel like they kind of have to have a blossoming. So yeah, 4 and 5 are still in the game. I feel like the Dragon Warrior one. I feel like if they gave Erdrick this kind of treatment, I feel like Dragon Warrior 1 would be an event they would say for an anniversary, but maybe like a 2.5 if they give him some respect. And also put out a fucking respectable version of the Golem from Cantlin. Ugh. Can't believe they made him a D rank.
Yeah, they haven't put out a decent golem. I mean, wasn't if I remember correctly in the original game, wasn't the golem a boss at one point?
Basically, I mean, Dragon Warrior 1 was very early, but yeah, honestly, you'd need to be really leveled to take him out with anything. There was an item that put him to sleep, the flute, and he hit hard as fuck if you kept him awake. So,
I
but
feel
you
like
could take him out at like in the teens, level wise, if you could put him to sleep every round. Although in that round, enemies could have slept the turn that they woke up from sleep, so you still had to be careful. He wasn't guaranteed to even stay
right, because in the
asleep the whole
original
round.
game, you could be slept for several turns, or you could just get back up right away.
Yeah, so you can sleep him, and you always acted first in that game. But yeah, you can sleep him, and then he'll wake up and punch you in the same round. So,
Oh shit, I
um,
haven't played that game in years.
yeah, I still like. I mean, if you want to play something retro, try it in the randomizer. I have a lot of fun with it. Um,
They actually made a randomizer for the game, like just how everything goes.
oh yeah, there are better They do it in tournaments, but like yeah, search for Dragon Warrior randomizer. I played it myself, although
Mm-hmm.
look, all of my streams are pretty boring, but those ones probably really extra boring. I enjoy watching the gameplays where they have people that will actually like moderate it for them or whatever, and they'll have a little, I don't know, not a scoreboard, but they'll have like a board on the bottom with all their stats and weapons and stuff like that because the stats really matter a lot in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more interesting to follow along. Uh, but yeah, so I think I would like to see Seven come back soon because I would like to see Ruff be useful. I think Ruff was very short lived. Uh,
Oh yeah, he's a unit I have, and I don't know if I ever leveled him up or anything.
no,
I think he's like S4 still.
Maribel. I remember. I think I've tried to bring up Maribel before. I remember seeing Maribel came to JP around the time we got Sorrow the Manslayer, I think,
Hmm.
or shortly thereafter, and I thought that that had to be included as like the answer to Sorrow the Manslayer finally, because he was going to dominate the game. And then Sorrow was really only good in PvP for like a month or two, right?
He
Like,
dropped off pretty quickly. I mean, people overhyped
yeah,
him.
yes, we all thought a Magic Bounce Shield was going to be amazing, but that's when they stopped making physical units suck ass. I mean, physical sucked so hard for the first couple months.
Because
Um,
I remember JP was like, "Well, if you have Estark and Sorrow together, you can basically keep your Estark from getting killed by spells and whatnot. You keep them together." That didn't work out very well for anybody.
you had to be very careful. You had to like it wouldn't just happen by chance. You had to manipulate the AI to get them to actually cast a spell at Sorrow.
Yeah, they weren't just gonna do it, so it just didn't. It wasn't the combo everybody thought it was gonna be, and also if anybody actually invested in Baramos, despite JP shit talking him, Baramos was just gonna hit Estark anyway and didn't have to worry about reflect damage because it was a
Mm,
single target bang attack. So realistically, that combo just came and went for like 5 minutes.
yeah. Granted, I don't know, I didn't even think about Arena much back then because I would just ignore a Stark because sometimes he was hard to take down. Well, and awaken to Stark. A base one, who really cares? But I don't know. It was always fun. I would always judge people. Like anybody that brought a Stark to Arena was a scrub because he's a terrible offensive unit. But you hate seeing him on defense.
They need to do something for him. I mean, maybe it's like you said, 2.5 or 3. Maybe they'll make a habit of like doing a major DQ villain and giving them a rework. But he's just on the sidelines now. You barely get any use out of him. Hey, there's Pickle. Hey, Pickle.
Hey, Pickle. Um, and that's the thing about a Stark. Like people say he's obsolete. Hmm, not really. There's still, dude. He'll still wreck in certain PVE matches.
Oh, and 25. I mean, he's pretty good
Yeah.
for 25 Blossoming Door. Although now I think the
I-
new meta for that is Fallen Angel Corvus, and then whatever else, casters in the back and just fuck him up. But he's still not bad.
Well, I think they would. It's funny. They went from like, dude, they got to stop doing these giant boss battles with every event to like, man, when are they gonna do one of those again? Um, but yeah, anything that's even type neutral to Zam, a Stark's usually good to bring for as far as a giant boss battle. So, um, yeah, he's far from dead. So that's, I kind of started getting at this before. Like, maybe they're not blossoming him yet because he's good enough. They would have to give him a really mediocre blossom because
And they
really
don't
all
want to
he
do
needs is
that.
a little bit of range. Um, give him a fan attack, give him one more movement, a small fan and a fourth movement. With him already being three movement, I can see them not giving him more movement straight up, but he just needs range.
I could see him getting a better version of his Zam fan attack because that fan attack he has right now is just trash. I've never gotten any really good use out of that attack, and I think I plus
No, I
leveled
mean
the
it.
thing.
It's better than a lot of other like B or C rank throwaway abilities. Um, on a physical unit, it's nice to have a breath attack. Its damage isn't good like trying to take something down. Trying to finish off one or two things. I I'm glad that it's there, but yeah, you could have a better first ability for sure.
I mean, even if it
Um,
had like a status ailment attached to it or something, I don't even. I think it's
I
just
was just thinking the same. Yeah.
major. It's like minor damage. There was nothing extra on it, which I back then it makes more sense for it not to have the status ailments that started coming in
Well,
later on. But I don't know
the
what
first
they're gonna do.
the first 6 months of the game, it was like, why did they even put Breath and Marshall in here? Do you know what I mean? Like
It,
they
it
were
was
just
useless.
clearly the worst damage types. You knew that on paper, if they did real damage, they were better. But it's like the trade-off wasn't worth it. Like they didn't do damage.
And now, as we slowly go in the game, they're getting a lot better because there's the buffs they can get for certain things. Like there's certain units that give martial buff, and then the scaling seems to be going. So whenever we get like 140 for S rank units, it's if they keep the scaling the way it is, we're going to see a huge jump in damage from them. But it took us like four, 3 or 4 rank ups to get to that point.
Mm. Yeah. So when now you just talked about rank 9, right?
Yeah,
Um,
when we eventually I think we'll see rank 9 probably. Let's see if the
because how
pattern
old is
stays
in
true.
JP? JP it came with DQ9, right? Or
I think
Did
it.
we get it with we got it with monsters, right?
We got it with monsters.
They got it with 9. I'm fairly
I think
certain.
they got it
Or
with
no,
9,
10.
or
Came with 9. I can't remember if
I
it
don't
came with
remember
9 or
now.
10.
But I think
Um,
the time
oh, it
between
came.
them was pretty long. It was the
er,
longest amount of time between 7 to 8. I mean, they've trying to
Oh,
space
by
them out.
far. Yeah. Okay, I remember now because it came with the Spring Heat campaign. That was the rank 8 event basically, and it came with DQ10. Uh, so that's only what like 4 months old in JP. So we're probably still a ways away. But like you said, with the the history of the time differences between rank, I mean, it's either going to be really far away or it just doesn't matter. You know.
Right, they may eventually do something different. I mean, I'm not sure when they'll break away from this ranking trend, but they're trying new things. I mean, Erdrick was a good example of them breaking the mold a little bit, although they want blossoming materials to upgrade his special tree, which fuck that, because God knows you need those blossoming materials for everything else. So,
And gold. Honestly, I'm more upset about the gold than the blossom mats.
you poor people.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh, I don't know how
dude,
much
I
gold that's
had to
gonna cost, but it's gonna cost gold.
I had to give up on that fucking S rank sword. First of all, I realized that like I didn't realize that the stages that only dropped the medals, the friendship medals or stones or whatever, had a significantly better drop rate. So it's like, okay, I can't farm other things with the friendship medals. None of these things are as important as me actually, after you get Hussar, the only thing that really matters is Maul. And if you fall short on any of the friendship stones, it's all for nothing. So I'm like, all right, just friendship stones at all costs. And I don't, I didn't keep track of how much money I wasted on the sword, but I could only get 2 HP rolls. I couldn't get 3 HP rolls. And I don't mean like gold. I mean like literally any amount of 3 HP rolls. So
All I know is I'm sitting here doing normal Kaleido Cat to get the friendship up, and instead of doing
that's what I'm
something else.
doing.
So it's like, because I've already gotten Hazar Max Awakened, I got him some Awakening Plus, and
Yeah.
I still need to get. I finished one of the three. I've been lazy on this because, well, I've been playing other shit, and I've
Yeah.
been lazy. I've been slacking off, and I didn't want to
Interest is
level the
low right
guild.
now, especially, it's funny. I don't want it to always be accelerated. Um, I said that early on. Like a game where you're never farmed up enough, a game where there's always things that you need to do and you can't ever possibly let stamina to go to waste. That's awesome for the first few months. And then it's like I never get to take a break from this game. It gets old. Cuz everybody that plays this game knows you can't take a break and come back. Like I mentioned earlier, if you see me offline for 2 days, it means I'm done playing.
Actually, it
Um,
means you're dead, and I should call the authorities.
yes, most likely. Um, gosh. But yeah, like, that's what I like about sorry, Dokkan. It's what I like about Dokkan. Dude, I barely have to play that game and I'm still relevant. I can come back at any time and just start earning things and summoning. They have hard content, but it's always permanent and the rewards are always like they're worth going for if you can, but it's not like a new player is like, "Oh fuck, I couldn't clear that. I really need that." It's usually for a couple of tickets on a crappy banner
I mean,
um,
what this game taught me is
or
there's
some
only
gems.
a couple of really good jumping off points where you could come in and make a dent. I mean, those players, those Chinese players in that little Smurf guild taught me that. It's like, okay, but there's not a lot of those points where they could come in because, well, now half their arena units are gone. Human Zara isn't coming back. Fallen Angel Corvus isn't coming back. And when's the next time there's going to be a really good lineup of characters where somebody could build a box to be useful? And that would be the next half anniversary. So essentially, if you want to be relevant in this game and take a break, you could only come back around anniversaries to really make an impact. Otherwise, you're spending thousands of dollars between buying somebody's account and then coming in and trying to like play catch up with it. It's a pain in the ass. I'm guessing you don't have to do that in Dokkan.
Oh no, well, I mean, there is a lot of content in Dokkan. Like the farm here, the one cool thing about DQT is that even the shitty units, 90% of them have a use, and at the very least they'll give you the family ranks and whatnot. Dokkan has a whole buttload of free to play units, and like 1% of them are useful. Um, so yeah, if you come in at the right time, you come in during an anniversary, you can easily get like a couple of good teams worth of units and whatnot. You can still farm all of the old stuff because it's fun with that game running as long as it is, and not like you don't if you didn't get a free to play unit, there's no content where it's like fuck, I literally needed that unit. Now I can't clear this content. That used to be a lot more common in DQT. So things coming back after 5 or 6 months didn't feel nearly as bad as it does in DQT. Telling somebody that something will come back in 6 months is like, that's forever, dude. What are you talking about? Fuck. So yeah, it's just a whole different atmosphere there. But like I said, when a new event comes out, you know, yeah, you can finish like all of those missions and clear most of the things in like a few days or a week. It's really not expensive to do gem refreshes there either. You can use a stone and get your whole stamina bar back. It goes way farther in that game. You can spend a couple dollars worth of currency and clear the whole event day one. And then you find that you have nothing to do. But like I said, that's it's not always a bad thing for a game that runs a couple of years. You need to like not have to be invested every day. Every day there's shit that I need, which is, like I said, it's usually fun, but sometimes it's like, I wish I could not log in for a week and not feel like my account is done.
Oh, I have to set aside 20 minutes every day for this game. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, and it's just like, if I don't, then I miss a bunch of dailies, I miss some gems,
Oh
or
yeah.
if I was to sleep on this, setup here, I would miss a Last Awakening on that A rank unit. So it's like I can't do that. Just not gonna happen.
Yeah. I like they made the Last Awakening on this A rank just good enough that like, I mean it starts with 10. Like I think it can be a solid arena unit. It's like no, it's going. What is tension? A 20% boost? 15? I'm not
I
sure.
think it's 20. I'd have to ask
Okay.
Pack.
So it's like, oh, it's literally the 5% stats, the 5% on the ability, I'm pretty sure. And then just an overall 20% potency modifier loss. So it's not like it's useless in arena, but um yeah, it's going to be way worse.
Well, speaking of
Um
Arena, Arena Watch needs two people desperately. They're asking everywhere. Please, if you want to commit 8 hours a day, have a psych evaluation, be on a report card. Please, speak to Trop. They don't care about stamina, but if you don't get in the top 10 stamina, they'll cut your balls off. So apply today.
Actually, Jen put me in the Chase Games like junior group, CG13, and I was cool with it at first, but now that this opportunity's come up, Pack Demon, take me. I'm fucking done with chasers. They might have my name, but like I'm done. And since I know you're losing it, I will come into more of your streams. I will insult your intelligence daily. Promise. I can include your manhood too. I don't know. You got a small pecker? I don't know if you do. I'll tell you that you do. Apparently, he loves being berated. Uh, was that too much? Sorry, I'm very.
I think that was pretty good. I mean, you're definitely the type of man he'd be with.
Thank you, thank you. Um, yeah. Sorry. I hope that's funny. When dude, I'm never very funny, but when I get tired, I think I'm hilarious, and nobody else does.
Oh, I'm amused
Um,
by it. I mean, that was technically a hate crime, but I'm okay with it.
yeah, everything's a hate crime now.
That's true.
Uh, um, yeah. Anyway, um, I told Pack and Trop, I'm like, I almost got Golden Arena once. Can I join? uh,
Oh,
um,
speaking of which, knock was like, "Oh, you should do a podcast with Tukey." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'd have to ban Pack." Like, apparently that he still has like a. I know we have our beef, but Tukey and Pack, Tukey hates Pack ever since the whole Aces thing. He like kicked him
I,
out of his server and everything.
I think I've seen Tukey talk shit about me. I've probably trash talked him once or twice because he just seems, I don't know, he's just a weird guy. Uh,
He's
oh,
different. I mean, I've done some collab work with him. He's got a different energy. Very interesting fellow. But there's something there that I just can't put my finger on. I don't know what it is. There's something maybe
smoking
wrong.
cigarettes on stream doesn't make you not a nerd.
That's true.
Anyway,
But there's something
um,
there. So yeah, needless to say, he's got this outstanding rivalry with Pac, and I don't think it's gonna calm down anytime soon.
does he have his own guild? Because a new member that has a huge problem with Pack sounds like exactly what he needs to fill in the spots. So.
He has his own guild, but I could see Pac. I don't know. I warned these guys way back that there was some potential there. Some things could go wrong, and it's one of those things where they didn't see, or maybe they did see that they did a risk assessment. They're like, well, we'll get a lot of value out of this, but it's like, how much headache did you have to go through to keep that and to deal with all that bullshit? It's just, I don't know. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Oh, somebody pointed out. Nib did put out a video. He's his account, his YouTube account isn't new. It's old. It's only got a few subscribers, but I'll have to. All right, I'm going.
It's a call to
I,
action.
I I swear it's not personal with Nibs, but like his ego is like, I literally can't not be flabbergasted by it. Um, apparently he finds himself to be a better fountain of knowledge than the rest of the community combined. Did you latch onto that part of his recruitment video? There's like, I just want the like you can come here and get the best advice and guides from me and the other guys, I guess. Um, I was like, oh my god, he thinks he is the ultimate source of knowledge in Dragon Quest Tact. The guy that has almost played this game for 6 months combined.
Well, you gotta remember, he also, the reason that he didn't go at you is because it was punching down to him.
Oh
That's
yeah,
his
that's
main
the
thing.
thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's
When
nice.
I like when I did an episode with him, um, I still feel, people pointed out how much I talked over him. Well, here when I interrupted, I didn't talk. He never like. I think he was too polite to get back in. I wasn't trying. So excited to have another live conversation with another DQT nerd that I just kept jumping in, and he would never jump in. He would just wait and then say something. So people are like, he never let you speak. I was like, oh, I was just so fucking excited. But oh yeah, he thought he was schooling me the entire time. I'm like, he never schooled me on anything. He just told me that I was wrong without evidence.
Yeah, there was no schooling there. Believe me, I was very sad. I was hoping that both of you would have torn into each other, and I was sitting there very, very upset.
Yeah,
Very
I
mild.
think he's obviously he's very smart, but like, oh my god, nobody could be as smart as he thinks he is.
God.
So I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, literally, you only have to read between the lines a little bit to like in his recruitment video. He, like I said, he identifies himself as the source of ultimate knowledge within DQT. Better than what? Fuck PAX Hub. Okay, everything you need to know. Join Aim Bangers. I don't know.
That's a
You know,
weird. I don't understand that name at all. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, I know Jen doesn't like it. I don't know. There's a lot of casual sexism in this community, which I mean, hey, I'm a pig. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know. Sometimes we forget that there are a handful of girls that play this game. 1%.
I found out there's
So,
a female in my guild today. I mean, besides Game Vision, so I was
mm.
very surprised because I just thought they just were pretending to be a female the entire time. Because that's the community we have. It's like a bunch of dudes. Like, oh, they talked. You're female. Okay, cool. This
Well,
is
I mean,
this
it's
is
like when you
different.
play WoW and somebody thinks that a female main character means that it's a chick playing. It's like, no, no, you must be new to this, sir. That is a dude.
Yeah, it's a guy in real life.
Yeah. Uh, I always feel like there's one more thing I needed to say, but
Well, it'll come
hmm,
back to you 20 minutes after we get off air. That's how this
it always
works.
does. Yeah, I'll bring it up when it's irrelevant in the next topic.
So, Jen, you wouldn't join Game Bangers then, is what you're telling us?
Yeah. Hey, gang. I mean, what is it? What's the way to say it? Gang rape is, that's funny. It's casual. Whatever. Just keep it light.
Yeah, just keep it light and consensual, I guess. I'm not sure how that
Yeah.
is, but yeah. Jesus
Um,
Christ. But
um,
I mean, it is Game Vision who came up with this, and he's a nice guy. He's got the intellect of a 12-year-old at a Chuck E. Cheese, but he is a nice guy.
I don't know anything about game visions, but I assume that naming the guild was probably his enticement. Uh,
It's like, hey, you can come over. We'll let you name the guild. Really? Gee golly, Mr. Nibs, that sounds great. What should I... Well, we could kind of name it after me. Let's call it Game Bangers. That's exactly how that fucking happened.
um, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So game vision was in yours, right? He was in your main guild.
Yeah, so he was in the sub guild, and then we brought him over to the main one because he was spending some, money. He was coming back, and it was like cool, and
Mm.
it was like, huh, he's the definition of pay to lose in some extent because he didn't understand how some of these mechanics worked, and I was like, okay, he hasn't played in a while. Yeah, you're not only when you come back to these games, you're not only fighting if you're looking to rank up or be powerful. You're not only fighting to get a strong box. I mean, there are units that I haven't encountered in this game that I would look at and be like, huh, what does that do? And I would hit menu and look at that unit, not just assume that every evasion unit works like Terry. I'm sorry. I thought it worked like Terry.
Okay. All right. How did that Kanye line go? All right. I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta say this real quick.
Go for
Um,
it.
okay. Uh, I know, dude. I don't know how to like Photoshop or anything. I'm hoping that it's a casual, simple thing for some people here that's listening, and this is definitely me trolling right now. Could somebody please get us an image of? It's so sad that I can name her, uh, Piper Pieri or whatever, the little blonde porn star, the one where the African American gentlemen are fanned around her in their underwear and undershirts, uh, ready to party with her. If somebody could Photoshop that for game bangers, I think that would be brilliant.
They can put that up on Facebook as the recruitment picture.
I mean, I think you know what part you got to Photoshop. And I think you know whose face is
You
going
got this,
there.
pickle. I believe in you.
One of you guys has to be able to do that easily. I don't know how to use computers anymore, but I mean, come on. It's like DQT Hub is going to look like a tame,
Yeah,
cute little
remember
thing.
remember when people got up in arms about the DQT hub being like the Pornhub logo,
Yeah.
and people were like, "Well, just Nira was upset about that. Let's be honest, it was just her." And now it's like you've got this.
Yeah, who? Let me see. Dapper Pickle, you the guild Bang Bros. Yeah, that's the Bang Bros guild. Gave me the inspiration, so thank you.
Oh, Nibs here. He says we are probably going to change that name to Gay Bangers.
We're not gonna change the meme. Uh,
Yes, he is 12, and that is probably the best name he could come up with on short notice.
Yeah, I want the picture. Um, dude. Do you remember? I don't know who made it. Not even. I'm not like pretending that I'm laughing along with you instead of you guys laughing at me. Whoever made the meme back in the day of Pam from The Office saying these two images look exactly the same with like a screen of Dokken and a screen of DQT. They put my face on
Oh,
Pam.
I remember that. I forget who
I
the fuck made that
fucking loved
though.
it.
I forget who made that.
Although I did learn to stop doing this. Um, Somebody made a meme of that. That wasn't very flattering. Yeah, I didn't like that one as much, but the Pam one was hilarious.
Oh, good times.
Uh,
Yeah, let us know what the new
Thank
name of
you.
your guild is going to be. I mean, maybe we could go with like Nibble Gobblers or something. We'll figure it out.
I like Nick
God.
Gobbler. Uh,
Uh,
uh, I just
that's
really hope that Arena Watch it asks why they pesters them when they lose to Starfall. Why did you lose? Was it bad leadership?
God. I mean, it's sad because they actually have somebody in there. They have Shark Eye in there. The guy's played MMOs. The guy's done WoW. He's got leadership experience. And then you've just got the trio over there who have no idea what the hell's going on, and they're going with whatever. Like the hut situation should have never happened. I know it's dead at this point, but that situation should have been handled a lot better. And
Hmm.
they, to this day, Pac still just Pac's gonna sit in his little castle there and be like, well, nope, this was handled okay. Sure, you're like that dog in the house where everything's on fire.
I'm just glad that like people, I've tried to address this every so often. People think that I run Chasers. Uh, Cygnus Jen runs it. Um, and she'll come to she will I don't know, ask me for or allow me to uh what do you call it, advise or collaborate with her. I don't know, however you put it. Words are hard. um but no, I'm not the leader. I'm the mascot, and I'm not even in Chasers right now, but it's a good thing that she is the leader, because even when I get to play leader, um I would definitely kick people way faster than she would.
Well, yeah,
um
you would have kicked
Outbreak
that
would
other
be
guy you told
gone.
me about the other
Art would
day.
never be in there.
Like, he would have been gone. You would have kicked that one guy out the door and just been like, fuck you, never come back.
All right, I'm teasing now. I might be too deadpan for that to be out. There was one guy I really wanted removed. That happened slower than I wanted. But other than that, no. There are some times where I've flown off the handle. Well, not flown. Well, it's a game, but like I was like, I don't like this or that, and you know, I didn't have control, which ended up being a good thing in the long run. Um, but
Right, giving you the
I'll tell
keys
you
is a
that,
bad idea.
yeah, some of our so or not very good arena players skilled up pretty fast in Chasers. So it's really amazing to see what I've mentioned this like 8 times, but like what an actual community and a Discord that helps each other out with it really leads towards success.
Well, there you go. See, I mean, it's like you build people up instead of throw them out of a van and then trade them off from another guild and then have a blood feud with Tukey, you know? There's better ways to do things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pat. All right, let me just tell the joke. I always comment that I never got gold in arena, so one of my guildies, Parafusion, got first in arena again, and he changed his in-game name to Chase Games. Even changed his token, I believe, his icon, and put around screenshots that I finally got number one in arena, which I was totally happy with. I'm like, that's good enough for me, because you know what? It literally means just as much.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, nobody knows the difference. You're willing to take it.
Although I guess Pack and Trop are going to just stomp over everybody with their Awaken 30 Hilbertsauruses.
Woo!
Uh,
What a
man,
useless unit.
God, I would love to blossom my Hilbertsaurus, but it's so far down the line.
Knowing
Ugh.
Zoma's coming at some point and you telling me that Hargon's really good as well. Like, when Hargon comes out for Blossom, you're going to go and upgrade your, Awaken 1 Hargon. You're not going to
Oh,
be
and
like let me do halberd swords.
Oh, and Prince of Canik as well. He's actually rated high. I liked him, but I thought Hargan was better. The last tier list I saw, again, I don't want to give it too much accountability. It could be right, could be trash, but they rated Canik's Blossom as higher than Hargan. So I just want it mostly. It does look good, and then I just really like Canik. So right now I'm gonna. I gotta finish off Malroth and Gorsby. I gotta finish them off, and then all of my mats for the next 2 months. I feel like I basically have to save for Bianca and then Hargan and um, the Canik, and hope that that's enough.
So check
We're
your
not giving out
Discord
very
real
many
quick
events.
and try and keep a straight face. Part one's already done. We'll just need somebody else to do the faces next.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I failed a little bit on the straight face.
People work quick.
Oh, yes. Let me see. I could do that part. I think that's just Canva.
There you go. See, there. Somebody gave you the canvas. You're an artist.
Um, I don't have a whole lot of clever ideas, but I think that was one of them.
Well, somebody definitely ran with it. Somebody watching definitely ran with it.
Somebody's making it. I mean, you and I, we have almost dozens of people watching us.
Yeah,
we're the
I mean, I
coolest
can't do a
kids in
thumbnail.
DQT.
I think I've done a thumbnail once, and I'm like, this is horrible. I can't do this shit. I'm just gonna take screenshots from my videos and call it a day.
I feel a little bad, but I completely gave up on thumbnails like a long time ago. I knew this game was never going to be huge when I started, but like it's a little depressing. I mean, my videos are very low effort, but when they were only getting like 100 to 150 views, it's like, well, all right.
Well, at least I don't know. I mean, sometimes these videos seem to do more, but I don't know. It's just like they were the spark was there for the anniversary, and then it died again. Maybe when we get Erdrick, things will be better. I'd like to say maybe we get some better treatment, but uh, congratulations,
What?
you've convinced me these people are never going to treat us better.
Well, if they gave us almost anything close to a win, I would be like, all right, fine, I'll go back to streaming and stuff. People appreciated the streams, not like hundreds of people, but like, I know people like my streams. We'd hang out. I didn't like, I can't do it there's not always something interesting, but yeah, it's fun to stream event launches and whatnot. But I'm just not gonna do that when they're shitting all over us all the time and my interest is low. But I'm just hoping they give us something that we can call a win. I'm kind of desperate to call anything a win because I would like to help out and have fun on my channel making some beginner guides when 2 year comes along. Try to make them less rambly and more to the point, like maybe having very specific videos, how this works, how that works, and whatnot. Because I always try to be too detailed and too rambly, as I am now.
And I leave details out, so it seems to work for me.
Yeah, I just always, well, I never write a script or anything.
Nah, I
close
don't do that shit. I get
I'm always afraid
basically
I'm
I get
leaving something out.
inspired. Like if it's like, okay, if I want to do a video, what's going on? And if I get inspired enough, I'll get my lazy ass up and I'll do the video. But otherwise, be like, somebody else can do it. Good luck.
Uh, so, let's see, are we wrapping up? Do we have anything to go on about?
I think that's about it. I mean, we've pretty much gone. We're still not really sure what the future's going to be for the game. The collaboration's kind of Arena Watch is desperate to find sane people. I mean, there's now Chinese Smurfs going around beating up people because they watched my video.
I'll tell that's the thing. Guild recruitment is tough right now. There were a couple of times where in Chasers we were convinced that like, okay, let's clear up one member because they aren't participating or just did like, really bad or whatnot. And then and we're like, all right, this spot will fill up in a minute because last month we had like three, four people we had to say sorry, we're full, and they were decent players. And then it's like, nope, nobody's coming around. By the way, CG13 recruiting, we're taking basically anyone. We're gonna start having higher requirements in the future, but right now we're just looking to fill it out with anybody that wants to try.
Do you have a
So,
pulse? Do you understand what
yeah.
DQT is? Join today.
Oh, this is the thing I wanted to say before I kept on forgetting. It's so hard to see there. It's not like there's that many in this game, but there've been a couple of new people in the last week or two. It's so hard to tell them like, oh, actually, what you want to do is go into a time machine, or a cryo sleep, because you needed to start last month, or wait 4 months. Either one of those, whichever one sounds better. And nobody wants to hear come back in 4 months. But it feels so bad not to start during an anniversary because they happen every 6 months, and I feel like every 3 months they have something that would basically be worthy of starting then
I
too.
mean, technically, if they started now and didn't play the game seriously but accumulated gems for the next anniversary, that wouldn't be hateful either. But that's a horrible way to play a game, though.
Yeah, I mean, I some people enjoy that more than others.
Yeah,
But like,
tropical
if you're
does.
gonna be like, that's the one thing that's getting better and better. Like, there is a player or two that they're in my guild now. I always tell people like that's the easiest place to um do ask questions as a new player. Um, but yeah, I was like, you can rock with the new A ranks. There's two good party members. We're gonna get a free S rank in a couple of days. I don't know if he's gonna be good enough for arena. It's hard, you don't know how much damage a new spell is going to do, or at least I'm not willing to look at the damage thing on it, the damage calc. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so there's the free to play unit there, the free to play S rank, the two A's, anything in Reminiscence, which you don't even really need to go there because you start with you re-roll for Ann Lucia right now. You get a good Blossom unit from the or two from the retry banner, and then lately the most of the events have one or two A or S ranks that are good enough for a party. You can have a damn good arena team right now with after you get like 5 or 6 units leveled up. It's really not too bad to get by for a little while. The only thing is that anything close, anything like all out battle related, you
No,
can't
it's
even
it's
look at
not. Yeah,
basically.
you're not gonna get past normal. I mean, maybe you'll get normal done, and that'll be about it. But I mean, it's like right now. The only other thing I could see maybe waiting on is for CGM to come out. CGM is going to be pretty good, and he'll be a couple days from now, he'll be
Hmm.
launching. So that may be, if you don't want to go for Ann Lucia, you can go for him on a re-roll and get a couple copies of him. But other than that, there's not really anything coming out anytime soon where it's like you could build a whole account around him like you could for Zoro.
Yeah, I've gone over this before. Some people disagree with me, but like when everything seems really good, then like just save. I mean, we've just 1.5 put us into a new tier of power creep. So, I mean, if everything is really good, then just try to have some patience and summon for it when it's on an anniversary together. Because I mean, you can't save too many gems for anniversaries. They just the 2 year will be able to utilize 135,000 gems, and for JP that included DQ3. Now anniversary units are different because they're literally completely unbalanced. But yeah, I mean, if you were to decide to only chase anniversary units and anniversary banner, you still can't even do that free to play, like completely. So, if you want the most value, I say you save because it's getting two or three good units like faster, or you can get dozens of good units during the anniversary. Because I think there's just way too high of a chance to have to go to pity on multiple banners. Yeah.
With
So I
45k, yeah, it's just
I think you have to consider every new unit as buying it for 45,000 gems. So if you get say 90,000 gems free to play every 6 months, which is probably about what it is, you can have two new units, or you can save for anniversaries. But like I said, personal choice, and again, that doesn't. There's still the anniversary unit, and
Yeah,
that's an
and there's the
so
dumb luck factor. Some people could throw 9K at the banner, get the units, and get a couple copies and show it off to everybody, and then the majority of
that
people don't.
that's the thing. There are dozens of people that hear that. Well, okay, in this stream, 3 or 4 people that hear that and go, "You're an idiot. I've gotten the last 4 units and 3 or 4 multis." That's awesome. Your luck's gonna change statistically. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you don't win against the house every time. The house eventually gets you. It's just when is that going to happen? Also, Luis, you're gonna go massage that girl, right? Your boy Luis over here is about to create infidelity.
Oh, um, Lewis, I'm gonna tell you something that my mother told me when I was a young boy. Soccer's got a goalie.
You got this. I believe in you. If you're gonna make some
That's what
money
I always
off of
say
it,
whenever
go for it.
I ever ask about a girl and somebody says that she's got a boyfriend. That's what I tell them. Goes over a lot of people's head because I'm a giant asshole.
You got this. I believe in you, Luis. If there's anybody who can get around that goalie, it's you. Good times.
Uh, anyway, it's like a blind date when you're like, oh yeah, this chick will be hot, and then it's like when people think about being a gynecologist, and then it's like, nope, you got to stick your hand inside old ladies too. So
It sounds awful.
yeah,
And on that note, we're gonna wrap it up for today.
old lady crotches. Let
Yeah,
them.
that's the end point for today. If you've learned anything today, don't become a gynecologist, kids. Stay in school and massage Lewis's girlfriend. Take care, guys.